Yeah.
Beat by Apollo, stop at New Apollos. Cop a Henny sour, and I'm puffing Jack Sour. Yeah, I feel a black power. Yeah, this time is really ours. It's time to get the bag. Yeah, it's time to get the bag. Yeah, yeah. Dollars coming, let me see it. Multi-million, I'm a big.
A question that I sometimes get is, why does that Icelandic guy live in Sweden? Now, that's a fairly fair question, and the answer is pretty random.
Ask for it, you receive it, got it locked, put the key in. Got them looking, yeah, they praying. She like, I like what I'm seeing.
And in order for me to properly answer this question, we will have to go back in time to 2015.
No, why they on that? Get a pack, then I roll that. She got ass, tell her throw that. Start her on, it's a throwback. Just a straight roll.
So, a lot of things happened that year that were kind of pivotal in my life, and it resulted in me buying a ticket to Bangkok. And it was really the first time where I went solo backpacking and solo travel just by myself. And it's an experience that I really, really recommend everybody to do it. It's just when you're this alone somewhere and there is nothing that influences you. Look, in your everyday life, you have your society, you have your habits, you have like the people that are around you that have like ideas about who you are. Everything is influencing you, but there it's just you on your own, and it's just fantastic. I loved it. Anyways, you might be sitting and thinking, okay, that's cool, awesome that you had an epiphany there, but what does that have to do with you, moving to Sweden? We're about to go into that, it's gonna make sense. Few weeks into the trip, I found myself, for like a third time in Bangkok. I've been going back and forth and all that stuff that you do, when you're backpacking. I showed some local staff some of my card tricks, and they were like, hey man, tonight you are coming with us. So I went on a party with just these random Thai people, and I told one of the guys like, hey, tomorrow I'm going to northern Thailand to Chiang Mai. And he was like, okay, wait a moment. Took a pen and paper and wrote in Thai a name of the hostel. And Thai language and the alphabet does not look any similar to my, Latin alphabet, so I had no idea what it said. And he was like, you take this note and you give it to the tuk-tuk driver when you arrive in Chiang Mai. I promise this hostel is the bomb, okay? So, we are getting to that juicy part of the story, that when I arrived to this hostel, there was this, fine-looking Swedish babe that I felt, I have to talk to this woman. And, I did. So, me and this Swedish babe, we actually ended up traveling together, throughout, so much for a few months. In retrospect, that time was just amazing. And as all good things, it came to an end, and she had to go back home to Sweden, and I kept on, traveling on my own for a little longer time. And at that time, I honestly wasn't sure I was ever gonna meet this person ever again in my life. But I was just falling in love, So I actually ended up rebooking a flight ticket that I had that was going to take me back home to Iceland to Sweden. So I sent her an email and I was like, hey, I'm coming to Sweden, because we kept in touch, with email, and it was just the best. And 6 years later, this is my life partner, and we have a kid together, and I actually, live in Sweden now. But there is more we have to talk about. We'll fill in the gap, because I didn't move to Sweden right away. So I've been in Sweden now since September 2019. And the story I've been telling you is from 2015. So there for 2015, 16, 17, 18, we were in, a long distance relationship. So it was back and forth every now and then. She came to me and I came to her here in Sweden. And it was just great. I like long distance, but eventually I decided to, come here. And I really like it, I think Stockholm is a fantastic city and Sweden is nice. Yes, I often miss Iceland, I miss my friends and family. I really miss, the Icelandic scenery. I miss my grandmother a whole lot, I used to live with my grandmas for, 3-4 years. I lived with my grandmas, and me and my grandma, we are tight, So, yeah, I miss her a whole lot, but moving to a different place is also, an adventure. So that is, kind of the story in a nutshell. Why that Icelandic guy, lives in Sweden. It's because, of a Swedish woman. But it does not answer the question, why do I speak so good Swedish? Min svenska är helt perfekt. Varför är det så? I realized that, you guys have never really met my buddy Magnus. This is Magnus over there. We share studio. We've been sharing studio for a long time and often say like Magnus this, Magnus that, Magnus that. And some of you being like, who the hell is Magnus? This is Magnus. Magnus, do you want to say something?
Hello.
Okay, so you should definitely go follow Magnus on Instagram. He's a fantastic photographer, and I'll leave his Instagram in the description down below. And I feel like he needs a little bit more followers, so let's help him out. Anyways, how come that I speak such so good Swedish? That's also something that I noticed some of you have been asking. Now that answer is pretty simple. It's that when I was a tiny little baby, I was 3 years old, my mother decided to, she wanted to do her PhD in Lund, Sweden. So from 1995 to I think around 2002, I lived in Sweden. So this is like 6-7 years of my childhood was spent in southern Sweden. And when you learn a language as a tiny little baby, as a kid, it's like cheating. It just gets ingrained to you. So my dialect and the way I speak, I sound like a native until I, reach out my hand and be like, Arnóla Hákonson, that's my name. And they're like, what? What's that? Arnóla Hákonson. So when we hit 100,000 subscribers, I promise to do a full tutorial on how to pronounce my name. Anyways, life is just so, random at times, and I love it. Even Elvira, that's my partner, my girlfriend, her name is Elvira, she was not going to go to that hostel either way. So when she arrived to Chiang Mai, and it was the same day as I arrived, she was actually going to another hostel, but it was fully booked. And so she asked, where can I go? And they were like, we heard that this hostel is pretty good. And she went there. And that is also, just super coincident. If that hadn't happened and I arrived, with a note written in a language I did not understand, I'd be like, here, take me to this place. I would not be here, and today I have a child, I have a little kid, half Swedish kid with this woman. So it's often, baffles me, just how random everything can be, and I love it, I love just the adventure of not always knowing where, I'm going or what is gonna happen next, I know this video was a little bit different from what I usually make, but I think, we can get to know each other a little bit, and some of you have been wondering, why does that Icelandic guy live in Sweden? Well, now you know. Okay, so before you guys click away, then I just want to do the YouTube thingy, If you could please smack that like button for me, it really helps me out. Consider subscribing because I create bunch of videos. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask in comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Now, it's extremely sunny here, and I love the weather in Sweden. That I was checking, like, how is the weather in Iceland now? I think it's summer, It's summer now. And it's like 7 degrees Celsius, windy and rainy. Whew, I do not miss that. So here is like 20 something plus. It's nice, Anyways, I'm gonna upload a video now. This is not this video. Obviously, this is gonna be edited in this week. So this is the present. You are watching this in the future. And yeah, catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.